Hello and welcome to Module 2, Lecture 3, Opening, Saving, and Exporting Documents. So far, we have explored the Word interface and customized the workspace. Now we will focus on one critical exam skill, managing documents. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to save and reopen Word files, understand different file formats like docx and PDF, use auto-save and auto-recover, export documents to other formats, and share documents using OneDrive. All right, now it's time for our demonstration. In this demonstration, we're going to show how to save in documents, how to open documents, how it works out save and out recover, and how to share it with OneDrive. Let's start with saving documents. In Word, you have two main options, Save and Save As. You can find this feature on the File tab, and you have the Save and Save As. The Save feature you're going to use when existing documents, when you need to make some change on the document. If you want to make change, for example, I want to remove this information on the document. I will remove this text, and I'm going to also add a new text. All right. And now, if I want to save the change, what I have to do is select the File tab and press Save. Or I can also press the Control S shortcut on my keyboard, and we also save. If we have a blank document, I'm going to click File tab, New, Blank Document, and this is a new document. And we decide to press Save. What we can see here, when we press Save, it's automatically send us to the Save as you can see here, because this document doesn't exist on any location. So in this case, the Word automatically, when we press the Save feature, automatically send us to the Save As to save the document to any location. In this case, on OneDrive, on the local computer, or one browser where we can have the freedom to select where to save this document. In this case, we can also save when a shared folder or when a NAS one network. I'm going to close this document. I'll say don't save, and I will come back to demo file one. And now we're going to use the Save As feature. The Save As feature allow us to save a copy of an existing document or from a new document. In this case, we have an existing document, and I want to create a new copy of this document. In this case, I can select File and select Save As, and I can save this document on OneDrive. On the local computer, okay, I can select Browse in this case to give me the freedom to select where I'm going to save. Fortunately, he come right here in my tasks folder, demo file folder. In this case, I will change the demo file to demo file 2, and I'm going to save. All right, as you can see here in title bar, now we have a demo file 2. This is the new copy. Every change that we're gonna do in this document will all affect this demo file 2. The demo file 1 is intact. Now, if you want to open an existing document that you have on your cloud or on your local computer or on a file server, you can select File tab, select Open, And now you have the recent feature where you can see the documents that you recently uh, you have the documents that you recent opened, or you can select the folders that you recent opened. You also can select the OneDrive. You can select this computer. You can search for the document on your local computer. You can add a place like OneDrive or OneDrive for Business, or you can browse where you have the freedom to select the file. In this case, I want to open the demo file one again. I'll select open, and here we have the demo file one. Another feature that I want to talk about is the outsave and outrecover. The outsave works when your file is stored on OneDrive or SharePoint. It saves change automatically, so you never lose your work. When you have your documents on OneDrive or on your SharePoint, the autosave feature will save your changes automatically. And another feature that is very important is the auto recover that help Word or your computer when crash. When your computer crash, you can reopen Word and will show your recovered version of unsaved documents. So you can select that and restore your document where you left when your computer or when Word crashed. Now I want to move to one very important feature. I can say the most used feature in Word is the export feature. You can find the export feature in the File tab, and you have here the export feature. In the export feature, you can export your Word document in PDF, XPS, or you can also select uh, other format types like the old that doc, the ODT, the plain text, and the RTF. You also can directly create an Adobe PDF right here. In this case, in this option, it will convert to PDF using the Adobe Acrobat. In this case, I'm going to select this option. I'm going to create a PDF and create PDF. And I will leave the name like this. And I will publish or save. I'll publish or save. And what I want to mention is that the PDF is a great for sharing professional documents while preserving formatting. And the XPS is another format similar to PDF. So what I advise you is if you want to share professionally a document, you can convert to PDF, then share via email or via Teams. In this case, as we saved, as we exported the document in our OneDrive, it's after the conversion, after the exportation, it's open the document right here, as you can see, our OneDrive. I'm going to close it, and we're going to move finally to our last demonstration. It's about sharing. If your document is stored on OneDrive or SharePoint, you will see on the right top corner this feature, the share feature. This feature will allow you to share your document and also see who you share with. In this case, you can click in this feature, select this first option, share, where you can specify to who you want to share your file. In this case, I say I want to share with all right. I'll write the email right here of the person that I want to share the file. Could be also a distribution group. In this case, we going to share with this with Iris, and I write the email right here. Then I can specify the permission. I can specify if this user will have the edit, will be enabled to edit the file or simplify view the file. I'll say view the file, and then I will say if we automatically share the change that I made on the document. I will say always. I can say ask me or never. I will say always in this case, and I will share this file. In this case, I'm sending the email with the people I invited. I also can, let's wait a little bit while sending this invitation. Okay, it's done. Now I can also generate a shareable link. It's loading. The shareable link will allow the people to have access to this Word document. What I have to do is just copy this link and share it with the people that needs to have access to this file. In this case, I can also edit the people that will have access to this file. I can say a specific people and write the email right here or the group, and I can specify the setting if these people will have access to edit or just view. And I can set an expiration date. I can say like till Sunday. This link will be valid. After Sunday will be expired and no one can have access to this link anymore. In this lecture, we saw the difference between save and save as, and how it helps us to manage different versions of a file. We also saw that Word support multiple formats like docx, the new Word file extension, and we also talk about the old file extensions like doc, RTF, and ODT. Word also supports format like PDF and XPS. We also talk about the two features that allow us to protect from losing data, the autosave and auto recover. We also saw that the export feature is very important, that allow us to convert Word files to professional formats like PDF. And lastly, we talk about OneDrive sharing that enable us to collaborate directly from Word. These are simple but vital skills. They are directly tested in the MO-110 exam, so make sure you practice them. In the next module, we will start working on editing tests and format paragraphs, building the foundation for more advanced Word skills. Thank you for watching and see you in the next module.